Hello everyone! The book's World Emergency, Save Humanity, Go for the Healing Miracle of the Optimal Vegan Diet, and Stop the Crime Against Humanity, a memoir and an investigation. A vital truth is being deliberately hidden from you and the public. What are the consequences of this hidden truth on you and your entourage? There is a consensus of the top world experts on nutrition and health that the whole foods, low-fat, plant-based diet, where raw food is given half the place, that it's the optimal diet for humans. It is also called a vegan diet. Dr. John McDougall writes about it in his book, The Healthiest Diet on the Planet. Dr. Michael Greger wrote, How Not to Die. It's about how you can help prevent, stop, and reverse our top 15 killers with a vegan diet. Dr. Michael Greger also wrote How Not to Diet. He explains that it is a matter of life and death, and that we cannot wait until society catches up with the science. Dr. Neil Barnard, president of the Physicians' Committee for Responsible Medicine, says that 7 out of 10 deaths can be prevented in the USA by a vegan diet. This doctor says that if the whole world goes vegan, it will save 8 million people by 2050. Dr. Dean Ornish says that the vegan diet is a fountain of youth, that it provides longevity, like Dan Wetner of the National Geographic, who studied the blue zones where people live the longest on Earth. He said that people there eat a predominantly plant-based diet. And another example is Frances Greger, the grandmother of Dr. Michael Greger. She was wheeled into a hospital because she was diagnosed with a heart disease at 65. Doctors told her she did not have a long time to live. And so she adopted a plant-based diet thanks to the lifestyle medicine pioneer Nathan Pritikin. He was an engineer who reversed his heart disease and who went on to help millions of people. It's true that the doctors I mentioned in this presentation, the plant-based doctors, they have reached and influenced millions of people already. So Frances Greger, she was wheeled in hospital, and thanks to the Pritikin vegan diet, she walked out of the hospital and she went on to live another 30 years. So, and Dr. T. Colleen Campbell, author of the China Study, the most extended 40-year study on the relationship between nutrition and health, he says that in the long term, consuming animal products, fish, meat, cause cardiovascular disease, cancer, and other serious diseases. He says that even a small portion of animal products, fish, meat, per day is bad for us. Dr. Tantha Mango Bartley did a study on 69,120 people, and she found that vegans had the least incidence of cancer. Doctors say that a vast majority of our diseases can be healed by a vegan diet. So if you don't know this truth about the optimal vegan diet, your risk of dying of cancer, diseases linked with high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, stroke, Alzheimer's disease, obesity, etc., these risks are much higher. We all have a mission. It is to help save humanity. Go for the healing, optimal vegan diet. Experience the miracles it works in our life. And stop the crime against humanity. Let me explain to you why. The World Watch Institute says that 18 to 50% of the greenhouse gas emissions are caused by animal agriculture. For example, it's cows who are belching methane, which is a greenhouse gas that is much more potent than CO2. Experts say that by 2100, the Earth risks a rise in temperature of 41 to 44 degrees Fahrenheit or 5 to 7 degrees Celsius, which would be a catastrophe for future generations, contribute to the sixth mass extinction of species, including humanity. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change says that at this point, the climate change could be irreversible if we don't change our lifestyle. So by going vegan, you help lower the greenhouse gas emissions and help save humanity and other living beings in the long term. What about the international crime against humanity? About 8,814 people have been killed to stop this message from being revealed to the public. I was blackmailed into stopping my activism and my investigations. Otherwise, the anti-vegan group would kill people and show me the news of their deaths via the media, along with codes, to show me the links with my activism. These books demonstrate Volume 1 and 2 of World Emergency Save Humanity. They demonstrate these statements. They are the result and the summary of 6 years of investigations of activists, the equivalent of more than 12 books of 2,677 pages. So the network did kill people in several countries. Every time I made progress with my activism and the publication of these books to warn the world population. We need your support to help stop this crime against humanity. The network of criminals has to be stopped. The 2,000 babies who were given microencephaly linked with the Zika virus also have a relationship with this international case. I demonstrate this in these books. Famous people, vegan activists, documentary makers, directors and authors, journalists, vegan chefs, CEOs of plant-based food and drink companies and news, sages, doctors of the vegetarian, vegan and freedom movement were given death threats by the network to silence them. Most of the death threats were given via me, sometimes exceptionally directly. These death threats are worth much more than $1.1 million in compensation for the damages and interests. There were a lot of fake news, so the number of victims who were killed or injured has to be relativized. So these books are a warning that there is a world climate emergency. People have to massively go vegan, according to experts like the SciY, the Stockholm International Water Institute, who says that by 2050, within 30 years, the world has to go vegetarian because of a global lack of water. Today, 4 billion people already suffer from a lack of water for 1 month every year. In November 2019, there is also a group of 11,000 scientists who published a report in the scientific journal Bioscience, and they warned the world population that there is a world climate emergency and that people have to massively go plant-based. And they also wrote a letter to the mayors worldwide asking them to serve less meat for students and serve them more plant-based options. Okay, so what is more, the optimal vegan diet works miracles for people. Doctors see their patients heal from terminal cancer on a predominantly plant-based diet. Doctors see the diabetes of their patients go away. They see their patients lose more than 200 pounds and keep the weight off. Doctors see their patients reverse their heart disease on a vegan diet. I am talking about doctors like Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, Dr. Neil Barnard, Dr. Kelly Turner, Dr. Michael Greger, Dr. Joel Kahn. These doctors talk about witnessing the miracles of the vegan diet on the patients on a daily basis. Dr. Joel Kahn wrote The Plant-Based Solution. Dr. Kelly Turner wrote Radical Remission of Terminal Cancer. Yet the vegetarian, vegan and freedom movement, who is promoting the vegan diet, is also being assaulted. A serial murder of vegetarian or vegan stars has also been going on to prevent them from converting the millions of fans to the vegan or vegetarian lifestyle, and also to prevent these stars from supporting the efficient and preventive medicine of the Physicians' Committee of Responsible Medicine founded by Dr. Neil Barnard in 1985. So it is part of the international crime against humanity. It is one of the greatest scandals of this century. We are confronted with an international case on the urgency of vegetarianism and veganism for the people and the planet. We need a vegan world revolution. The R of revolution is in brackets because it is our natural evolution to be herbivores, frugivores, or vegans according to naturalists. We're natural vegans, so it's more a vegan world evolution than a vegan world revolution. 2 disclaimers I'd like to give is that all the allegations and accusations against any people made in these books have to be proven right by an honest international criminal court. And secondly, don't look to this presentation for medical advice. I am a peace activist and not a medical doctor. So why are you doing this? What will your future self be on a vegan diet? There are 17 golden reasons to be a vegetarian and better a vegan. The first reason is that you have a perfect health, according to experts. The second reason is that you help stop the unfair slaughter of 60 billion animals, 500 billion sea animals every year in the world. You help stop the unfair slaughter of calves in the milk industry. Most of them are sent to the slaughterhouse not long after birth, and the milk that should be theirs, so that this milk be given to humans, whereas humans don't need it because no species need the milk of another species after weaning. You also help the unfair slaughter of male chicks who are ground in the egg industry, because the male chicks will not become hens that lay eggs. Number 3, you respect the law when you go vegan that forbids the torture of animals. Number 4, you follow the way of the vegetarian and vegan sages, philosophers, and you follow the way of our ancestors, the first humans who were vegetarians. Number 5, you help protect the environment. There is a world climate emergency. 70% of the food-related greenhouse gas emissions could be prevented if the whole world goes vegan, according to Dr. Neil Barnard, and that's by 2050. You prevent the 6 mass extinction of species, including humanity. You prevent the ocean dead zones, deforestation, sea level rising, the worsening of natural catastrophes everywhere. I read in an article of a French newspaper that 4 billion people were concerned by the consequences of global warming, sea level rising, migration, lack of water, etc. Number 6. You fight against the imbalance between northern and southern countries. In some developing countries, the grains are sent to feed the animals who will be slaughtered for people of Western countries to consume, whereas there is hunger in those developing countries. The grains could feed the local populations. There is an injustice going on here. Number 7. You save natural resources. You need about 9 times more cereals to produce 1 pound of meat than to produce 1 pound of vegetal proteins, and 15 times more water. We should consume the vegetal proteins directly. So you help avoid famine, poverty, lack of harvests, lack of water caused by global warming. Countries under the equator have their rivers that are drying up because of global warming. So you help avoid wars in countries today and in the future. For example, one of the causes of the war in Rwanda and Syria was the lack of harvests of crops due to drought and global warming. Number 8. You get better physical performances. See the documentary Game Changers and the study of Professor Fisher of Yale University. Number 9. You save money. Number 10. You eat delicious vegan food. Number 11. You have an exquisite beauty. Number 12. You have a great intellectual force. Number 13. You have a pacified mind and emotional balance, according to yoga and acupuncturist Heather Lunsbury. Geography. Number 14 is a geographical reason. The diseases called diseases of our civilization are located in countries who most consume meat and animal products. Number 15. You respect our nature of herbivores, frugivores, according to naturalists. Our teeth and intestine are similar to those of primates and not those of carnivores. Number 16. You have a higher level of conscience and spirituality, according to Dexter Scott King, the son of Reverend Martin Luther King. Number 17. Our creativity is boosted, like that of Spanish architect Gaudi, who created wonderful, natural, colorful buildings. You can check them out. And you can help create a more fraternal, fair, wealthy, and peaceful world. See the book of Dr. Will Tuttle, The World Peace Diet. So to get this mission of helping to save humanity accomplished and to help you go vegan, you have to consult a doctor or a nutritionist. The basic principle is the power plate. of the Physicians' Committee of Responsible Medicine, you have to eat 4 groups of food: whole grains, legumes like lentils, peas, fruits, and vegetables. You can eat 30 grams of nuts a day. You have to have the vitamin B12 and vitamin D, but you have to consult a doctor. So you can get the Vegan Starter Kit by Dr. Neil Barnard. It's very affordable. Or you can do the free 21-day vegan kickstart of the Physicians' Committee for Responsible Medicine. It's online, and you have the support of a community. So you can get a vegan cookbook or find free vegan recipes online, and you can veganize traditional recipes. So yes, surround yourself with a vegetarian or vegan community who will be supportive. And we know it's not easy to go vegan in a society that promotes and follows the omnivore diet, but once you decide to make the leap, you will be supported by the vegetarian and vegan community. For example, you might wonder, how do I get my proteins? Doctors say that proteins are made up of amino acids. Vegetal proteins in plants are complete. They have all the amino acids of proteins. For example, a man and a woman from 30 to 59 years old need 46 grams of proteins a day. Rice and wheat have 8 or 11 grams of proteins per 100 grams. 100 grams is about 3.5 ounces. I'm sorry, I have to speak in grams for my presentation. So soy or lentils have 38 and 23 grams of proteins per 100 grams. So that's a little more than the proteins contained in beef, pork, chicken, or fish. So this explains why we should eat cereals and legumes when we follow a vegan diet. So for example, if you eat 100 grams of cereals or rice and 100 grams of soy or tofu, you get the 46 grams of proteins a day needed for an adult from 30 to 59 years old. You may also wonder, how do I get my calcium? Doctors say cows don't make calcium. The calcium is found in the grass and other foods that the cows eat. For us, it is in the green leafy vegetables or foods like broccolis, figs, dates, almonds. So what's the miracle of the vegan diet for you? You will reach your optimal health with the vegan lifestyle combined with exercise and spirituality. You will feel the strongest you have ever been. See the example of Rich Roll, a vegan ultra-marathoner and a lawyer. You will feel and look much younger and beautiful. Your intelligence will reach its peak. You will be calm and feel the happiest. You will be more conscious and spiritual. You will be able to provide greater help for yourself, your family, society, and the world. You will make a primordial move toward becoming the best version of yourself. To sum up, you have new extraordinary benefits in your life after you go vegan. So even if these books give you the bad news of a crime against humanity, and the global treachery to keep the public ignorant of the truth of the optimal vegan diet, the good news is that you can do something about it. You have the power to change your life for the better and live a long and happy life. You have the power to help give a sustainable future for your grandchildren and the next generations. Who am I? What gives me the authority to write these books? I am the CEO of a training center that teaches English. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's level in English. I studied philosophy for a year at university. I have passed a competitive examination to enter several colleges of engineering, including a general one specialized in robotics, one in material science, a general one, and a last one in the genius of industrial systems and innovation. I have been a peace, human rights, vegetarianism, veganism, environmental activist since 2013. I've been a volunteer investigator since then. I was raised on a Vietnamese diet that is low in meat. I have been 14 years a vegetarian and on a predominantly plant-based diet. Now I have a vegan diet. I'm 42. You know, when I went back to vegetarianism when I was in my 30s, because previously I had been badly informed, so I felt 10 years younger, and when I decided to be more vegan, I felt another 10 years younger, so that's a total of 20 years younger. I think I feel and I look like it. So I'm a French citizen. My family is from Vietnam, a former French colony. My grandmother was a vegetarian Buddhist nun who helped a lot of people. And I was born in the context of the Vietnam War. I have seen what the war looks like. I want no wars for anyone, be they animals or humans. Thank you very much. Please leave your comments below the video. In video 2, I will give you a challenge to solve. I will explain to you the challenge for the world by 2050. I will tell you about the content of the books World Emergency, Save Humanity, Go for the Healing Miracle of the Optimal Vegan Diet, and Stop the Crime Against Humanity, a memoir and an investigation. Please watch video number 2 as also. Thank you so much. Goodbye.